what's up, everybody? Another great episode of Fourth Person Point of View, baby. And today's episode, we're going to talk about this damn military parade. So, if you've been following the news, you know that they had a military parade yesterday in D.C. And there's been a lot of people talking about it in the media, especially the Democrats and the Republicans and the goddamn protesters and the people who are not protesting. So, I wanted to talk about it. Of course, you can see the proof right here. I am a veteran myself. This Army shirt here came straight from the supply sergeant. So, I'm not biased, trust me, but I want to voice my opinion on it. So, what people are talking about is Trump's ass, and they said that President Trump really didn't want to have the parade for the right reason. They said Trump wanted to have the parade because he wanted to feel like a dictator. Now, I double checked this right here, and Trump's birthday is June 14, 1946. As you can see it yourself there. Trump's birthday is June 14, 1946, and the parade was yesterday on June 14th. So a lot of the people, especially your liberals, are saying Trump's ass just had a goddamn parade for himself out of pure selfishness and arrogance. That might be true. It might be false. But I wanted to talk about it from a fourth person perspective. Now, that's my daddy right there. When he was a young man, he served in the military for a few years. I am the second. He's the first. My great unc RD, which is what we call him, Unc RD. So my grandmother's brother, he is a he is a World War II veteran. I might have a picture of him somewhere. I got several cousins that have served in the military. Unc RD's son, James, raised punk ass. He's a veteran. So, I come from a military family, but I'm still not biased. And from a fourth person perspective, I wanted to talk about it because there is a bigger problem here. Got so many damn pictures on here. Forgive me. Let me see if I can find Unc ID. I'm really proud of him. Maybe I can't. It's somewhere though. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know where it said. I got him somewhere up in here. Don't know where. Oh, no, I'm not gonna be able to find him on here. Too many pictures. Too many. I tried, Unc. Yeah, I tried. I can't find it. There go one of me at AIT 2009. Anybody know that guy there? Tell him I said, what up? That's daughter his ass. Old boy from Chicago. He was my my roommate. That was my battle. That was at Fort Lee, 2009. So, back to what I was saying. Yeah, that's another one of me. During COVID. But I wish I could have showed y'all my great uncle, R.D. Fox. I really have a lot of respect for him. Serving in the military during that time when, you know, America was still dealing with a lot of racial issues, but he served. And World War II was a war. That wasn't no Iraq, Afghanistan. That was a world war. And anytime that was a world war, you might as well say that was a certified gangster party. But I wish I could find that picture. I can't. I'll show it another time. Yeah, I can't find it in here. There's too many pictures. Too many. But oh well. I tried, huh? But like I said, that's my dad up there. That's gonna be in the late 70s there. But back to what we was talking about from a fourth person perspective. From a fourth person perspective, there's a bigger problem in this country. When people can't come together over a damn parade. When you can't come together as a nation on whether or not you should have a damn military parade, that signifies something deeper. In my opinion, fourth person perspective, I say it's a goddamn indicator that civilization is crumbling. Our nation is getting weaker. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, Trump's birthday was June 14, 1946. We can't deny that. The Army's birthday, let's double check and see, because America, let me double check. I was right. I just wanted to double check on my dates. The Army's birthday is June 14th. So, it was the Army's 250th birthday. And the Army is the oldest branch in the country. And it's actually older than America, because the Army's birthday is June 14th, 1775. Trump's birthday, June 14th. I got you. Now, does Trump want to be a dictator? Man, we don't know what the fuck going through Trump's head. I don't even think he know. But when the country can't come together collectively and say, hey, is this a good idea or a bad idea? I think we have a deeper problem. Trump got a lot of criticism because that parade was $45 million. Now, that's what they're saying online. Says, according to AI, the military parade in D.C. celebrating the Army's 250th birthday is estimated to cost between $25 million and $45 million, according to NPR. Now, on the flip side of that, 25 million to 45 million, some of that right there is probably including, and I hadn't read no type of documents or anything, no type of policy legislation or none of the bills or anything, but I'm assuming some of that 25 to 45 million is probably coming with pay. Now, if a lot of those soldiers were active duty, they're going to be paid anyway. Now, travel vouchers and shit, and you know, that could add up. But I do remember Fox News saying that some of that $45 million is going to be money they give to DC to repair the streets after this is over, which it shouldn't be too much damage. I mean, a tank rolling through your streets very slow. It's not, it didn't cause that much damage. So if the streets need to be fixed, by all means, go fix them. But if they don't need to be fixed, don't. We got to stop wasting money in this country. But back to my original point. From a fourth person perspective, this is a bigger problem. Now, let me tell you why. What is America's strength? We do not lead in education. We don't. I'm gonna fact check myself. Does America lead in education? Okay, so it says that could be complex. You have to pinpoint exactly in what. So I'm gonna ask a different question. Say, does America lead in math and science? And what does AI tell us? America doesn't consistently lead in math and science education compared to other developed countries. That's my point. America does not lead in math and science, which is very, those two areas there are very key components of a civilization advancing into the future. When you want to talk about goddamn like technology and research and shit, your math and science, that's kind of like your I guess you can say your artificial intelligence, your chemists, your scientists. I mean, math and science, that's like kind of like the dynamic duo. You take math and science, you can take a civilization very far compared to stuff like reading, which reading is very important, but math and science, that's the sweet spot. We don't lead in that. Okay, it says, according to the 2022 PISA results, America ranked 28th out of 37 OECD countries. And in 2022 PISA, the US ranked 12th out of 37 countries in science. So we don't lead in that. What do we lead in? That's the question the politicians should be asking on both sides. We lead in military. America is known for its military. You want it, I got it. We'll come in your country and take it. That's what we lead in, which exposes so many other problems. Why does less than 1% of our population serve in the military? On the flip side, why do we have such a large military budget? See, all this shit is fucked up because we got too many weak motherfuckers in positions of power, too many cowards, which Trump's grandpa, if you go online and research this, is from Germany, which he was put out of Germany because he was a draft dodger. A lot of people from Germany back in those days were sent to this new land because they weren't worth a fuck. Germany did not like weak people. A lot of countries didn't. So a lot of people sent their filth over here. And that's another subject. And to show you I'm not bullshit, I'm going to show you this book here about Trump's grandpa. This is a this is a book right here that one of my professors, he was a Harvard boy. I majored in political science. He recommended this book right here, which this book right here is like a political science jewel here. So it's called Southern Politics and State Nation by V.O. Key Jr., which is he's a well-known guy in the political science world. In that book, he talked about how some of the Germans went to Alabama because they were weak as hell. They were sent to the United States because they would not fight. They were draft dodgers. So Germany sent their asses over here and they settled in little different, I'm not gonna call it a village, but I'll call it like, your little section of town. So you got to put yourself back in that time period, little communities. So a lot of them went to Alabama. And so when the Civil War kicked off, some of the boys in Alabama told the Germans, hey, we got to fight the Yankees. The Germans said, hey, we ain't fighting shit. Them boys in Alabama said, hey, y'all been sucking our resources. You don't do nothing. You don't participate. Either y'all gonna fight or we're gonna kill you. The gag is they wouldn't fight for the Confederate Army just like them or their parents, which is gonna put you back in during the time of the Civil War. That's why Germany sent your ass over here anyway. So it was either your daddy or your ass. So some of them Germans ended up fighting for the Confederate military because they didn't have a choice, because the Confederate soldiers gave them two options. Either you weak motherfuckers will fight or we will kill you. It's in the book. It's in here. It don't say nothing about Trump's daddy now, but it talks about Germany. German people who came to America, so German Americans. But we're not going to get too far into that. We're going to stay on course here. Now, America leads in military power. It's what we have. Now, I'm not going to get into the fine details and compare and contrast our military to other militaries, and specifically why we have a superior military compared to other people. But that's a subject that should be discussed from a political perspective, but we're going to stay on course here. So if you don't lead in math and science and you lead in military, why in the fuck wouldn't you have a military parade? It only makes sense. Why in the fuck does only 1% of your population serve in the military? Fuck Silicon Valley, fuck AI, fuck tech, fuck all these dumb fucks in this country who suck the American dream for free. If you remove the military from America, what do you have? You're no different in these other countries. You will get your ass invaded. If America did not have its military, we would be getting invaded just like every other country. All these other countries that America has invaded and tore down their governments, why did we do it? Because their military was inferior to ours. No bullshit. When I think it was Johnson who referred to North Vietnam as a bunch of anthills, he fuck around and found out. Now, keep that in your mind. We did not win Vietnam. But after the Soviet Union fell, America had more leverage than everybody else in the global community. So our military was considered superior. We built things that other countries have not built, but they're right on our ass. China is a force to be reckoned with. All the military simulations and games they play have proven that if America goes to war with China, it's going to be a goddamn gangster party. It's not just going to be no goddamn pushover. It's going to be a war. But if you remove China from the chessboard and you put America where it is now and compare and contrast our strengths and weaknesses in the global community, we only have the fucking military. So if you only have the military as your strength, why in the fuck wouldn't you have a goddamn parade? That's almost like going to it's kind of like going to a university, and it's a research university. The population of the university is, say, 12 to 20,000. If it's 12 to 20,000, and you go on the campus and say, this university here says it's known for research. Where is the research department? And they say, well, out of 20,000 students in all these buildings, that little red brick building right there is the research department. And you go in that motherfucker and ain't nothing in there but a bunch of shitty tables, charts, and fucking containers. No computers, no nothing. And you say, well, if this is a research university. I think that's what I said, a research. So if this is a research university, why in the fuck are you putting all your focus in fucking men's volleyball? And the fucking volleyball team has had a losing record for the past goddamn 30 years since the goddamn college had been founded. You see where I'm going with this? It doesn't make logical sense. So I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or a Republican or a dumb citizen. If you are this socially stupid, you might need to come here and get some sense slapped back in your ass. It's stupid. Now, Trump's agenda, we don't fucking know. I believe it's kind of more for him, my personal opinion. But who in the fuck, now that you know that America's strength lies in the military, not math and science, nothing else, military. So why in the fuck wouldn't you have a goddamn public military parade at least once a year? The parade is your recruiting tools. I think they said last night that the United States spends roughly I think they said 6 million, let me see, on advertising. Let's double check. See if it'll give us something. Oh shit. It's according to AI. Pardon me, this light is so bright here. That LED shit. It says the U.S. military, primarily through the Department of Defense, spends a substantial amount on advertising, particularly for recruitment purposes. In 2023, the Department of Defense spent $1.14 billion on advertising. The Army was the top advertiser within the DoD, spending nearly $640 million. So if you're spending $1.14 billion on advertising, from a politician's perspective or somebody that's not stupid, why not take this parade and have it once a year, cut some of this money back from here, you televise the shit so everybody in the country can watch it on TV. You showcase all the tools. You got drones, you got the damn military police dogs, you got the military robot dogs, you see the tanks, you see goddamn, you had goddamn the Black Hawks flying above. You see where I'm going with this? It's too much stupidity and ignorance in our goddamn fucking political leaders. I mean, you got to make this shit make sense, man. And I get sick and tired of watching the news, listening to them talk on Fox, listening to the people on CNN, MSNBC, and it's like everybody misses the point, which keeps the fucking country divided and confused. And you got too many people with positions that don't seem to understand. Because if you did understand, why in the fuck would you go against the grain for shits and giggles? And if you have a college education, I understand you, because I've been in college myself. I have a master's degree, so I understand how some of you morons are trained to question everything, and that's not always a good thing, especially when all you have is a bunch of philosophies and theories inside of a skull with no common sense. So if you're spending all this money on advertising, doesn't it make logical sense for you to take some of this goddamn $1.14 billion and put it towards the parade? Now, if this is the first parade here, you should have it every year. I would suggest you move the motherfucker to July 4th. And call it the overall military parade, where you have every branch participating. You give the Army their shout out. You give the Navy, the Marine Corps, Space Force, Coast Guard. Give everybody their shout out on TV. So on June the 14th of next year, hey, the Army's birthday, and they're going to have little events on base. I've been on base and I've been a part of them. I think last Army birthday when I was in the military, they had like a ceremony and they had this big ass cake saying happy birthday Army, we love you and shit. And all the soldiers went up there and got a piece of cake, and the cake was pretty good. And it's more of a team building moment to acknowledge the military. You can take a knee, eat some cake, drink some punch and shit, and then you can go home early. Gotcha. I'm sure the Marine Corps and the Navy do all the same shit. So you take this damn parade, you call it the annual military parade. You scale back on all the money you're spending on advertising. You have one parade, one military parade per year. It's going to be longer, which is good. You showcase some of your shit to the people. That's how you recruit. And it also, and what they're trying to say Trump's ass is doing, they're trying to say he's a dictator and he's trying to showcase his power. Fuck Trump. The military, the country as a whole, America, should be showcasing its power. If that's what Trump is trying to do for his own fucked up purposes, let him do it. It benefits the goddamn country and the military as a whole. There should have been a military parade a long time ago. Actually, Trump tried to have one during his first term, but it was denied. But that's all it does. Now, I just told you my fourth person perspective. If the military is what we lead in, why the fuck aren't you having a military parade? Because you can't have a science parade, because whoever leads in science says, oh, knock it off. Whoever having a math parade, they saying, get the fuck out of here, America. But we got that military. So when the global community see the United States having a military parade, they goddamn eyes gonna fucking buck and they mouths will drop and they be like, well, them goddamn Americans might be overspenders and shit, but them son of a bitches got a military, and that's what we want. You let the goddamn global community know, hey, bitch, we got a lot of worthless goddamn people and things in our country, but one thing we do have that your ass respects is this. Hey, and we will flash this motherfucker in your face to let you know if you fuck with us, we'll come overseas and beat your ass. That's how everybody should look at it. Democrat or Republican. So all this goddamn nanny boo-boo shit, knock it off. It should stop. It should stop. I watched the whole parade, and I must say, man, I felt motivated. It gave me a burst of fresh air. I felt good just seeing it. It was beautiful. Even the songs and shit. Some of the songs they sung later on, it was good. Also, if that damn parade is gonna decrease suicide numbers, because I was a suicide prevention specialist too. If that damn parade is going to decrease suicide numbers, if it's going to goddamn bring everybody together, then do it. Fuck whose idea it was. That's the problem in this country right now. We got too many stupid motherfuckers who want to be selfish. You want to take all the credit for your own bullshit. And you don't want to work as a team. And that's going to come back and bite you in your ass. Mark my word. Mark my word. It's going to come back and bite you in your ass. Because you're stupid. You're stupid. That's what's going to hurt this country. All these divided beliefs and viewpoints over shit that should be common sense. You got damn Democrats in the military. You got Republicans in the military. You got independents in the military. You got people who don't give a fuck in the military. Anytime that the United States of America can come together under one umbrella, there should be no goddamn question about it. Do it. Now, like I said, I suggest this military parade be continued next year. Move it up to July 4th. It will be, it's something that's beautiful. It's something that's great. If you want to do it, if you don't want to do it on July the 4th, do it on July the 3rd or the 5th. Bring all branches in. The camaraderie will be off the chain. The military spirit off the chain. The spirit of America will be refreshed because patriotism is all we have. That is all America has right now until you get a different leader in there. It's military strength. Our budget, which is what, $1 trillion? How much is the U.S. military budget? So it says as of 2023, the budget was $872.89 billion. Let's see where we stand. Like I said, in 2024, the United States had the largest military budget, followed by China and Russia. That's our strength. Not that shit, because I can goddamn parry that bullshit and tell you 99 reasons why we shouldn't have the largest budget. That's them weak motherfuckers with this bullshit. But you get the point. America has the largest military budget. We have a superpower, which is based off our military. So why wouldn't we have a fucking military parade? Exactly. Make it make sense. So in next year, Trump's ass is going to be in office. But I don't see why the generals, Joint Chiefs, politicians on both sides come together, cut this advertising budget down, have one fucking parade for all branches. Like I said, move it to the 3rd of July or the 4th or the 5th. Reignite patriotism, which is what we all surviving off of, patriotism and God, and move forward. Hey, it's the start of something good. They actually have a bunch of little military parades. I'm not gonna say a bunch, but some bases have little small military type parades where it might not be that big at all, but it might be somewhere like the band march through and they have a couple Humvees behind, or a tank or something. But why not? And on the flip side, you're in fucking DC. You got Fort Lee, you got Fort Drum, you got West Point, you got what? Shit, I'm almost. Hell, I don't even know the name of all the goddamn bases no more. They done changed the goddamn thing so much. And that's something else I'll talk about, because I'll give you my opinion on these stupid motherfuckers changing all these goddamn base names, which that's stupid shit from a bunch of stupid ass people they never did a day in the military. But that's another note. But what I was saying, you got all those military bases around DC. So it ain't like you got to goddamn bring a tank or a Humvee from fucking Fort Polk or Fort Knox. Which, once again, that ain't rocket science. DC is protected the way it needs to be. So you can bring shit in there for this parade once a year. And even my first argument, which is to say you should bring all the branches. They got Marines, they got Air Force, Navy, and Coast Guard in that DC, Virginia area too, so that's not a problem. This thing can work. if you wanted to. But I wanted to touch on that, though, and just to say how disappointed I am that people can't come together on a damn military parade, regardless of what it's for or whose ego. When Trump's ass is long and when he's long gone, that damn parade should still be going on. Because it's not for me, you, or his ass. It's for the country and the spirit of the United States of America. But this has been Fourth Person Point of View, baby. I'm out.